It's not been quite a year. We'll hit the official 1 year mark next month, but I don't plan on making another one of these videos next month, so this will basically cover, the past year of using the AirPods Pro, and as an Apple sheep, I would love to tell you that this thing changed my life and it cured my cancer and it brought world peace and removed all pain from my life. But the truth is, AirPods Pro have been pretty bumpy for me. They have not been as stable or as consistent, and frankly, they have not really lived up to the "it just works" motto of Apple products. So in the spirit of honesty, I'll be telling you the issues I've had with them. Let's begin. I'll go on the record and say it's not been completely horrible. I mean, the active noise cancellation has been awesome for so many different situations, whether it's running fans in front of my face because it gets really, really hot in here, or mowing the lawn once a week, or whenever I used to go on planes. Remember planes, guys? There were these big long tubes everyone would get inside and fly around. Yeah, back then, when I got to use ANC, it was very, very nice. And noisy environments, being able to tune those out, but also just with one single little press and hold, you're able to let in all that external audio. That's been wonderful, but there have been just quality control issues that I've heard about online and also experienced myself. People experiencing lots of active noise cancellation issues with firmware updates where just via software, some bug will come out and now ANC sucks for a lot of people and they hear background noises and they hear hissing noises and that kind of thing. And sometimes it'll take months for Apple to actually patch these updates. And in the meantime, people are just stuck with sucky ANC, and that's not typical for Apple. It's kind of annoying to see how many people were having frustrating issues with active noise cancellation, and I did not get a ton of those issues. Maybe I'm just not an audiophile and I didn't notice it right, but there were a few times where I would put the headphones in and one of them would be making a hissing sound and the other one wouldn't, so I'd have to reset them, and that would typically fix it. But still, an extra step, an extra annoyance that certainly should not be there on $250 headphones. The more recent problem I've ran into with AirPods Pro that was quite annoying is that for whatever reason, I'm not really hard on my headphones. I don't throw them around. I don't kick them off cliffs or anything like that. I don't drag them out from the back of my car like some of you. But no, literally, I just typically keep them on my desk. They sit there and suddenly they didn't like charging as much as they used to. I don't even know how this problem arose, but I would have both AirPods Pro sitting nicely tucked away in their case, and when it was time to record a podcast or time to start using my headphones because I want to listen to music or something, I take them out and one of them is not charged at all. One of them's at 100%, typically the right one, and the left one is dead. It's at 0%. So sometimes I could fiddle around with it and kind of push it in a certain direction, and then it would start charging, and I would have to make sure that the AirPods were like oriented in the right way sitting on my desk, and if they were oriented just the right amount, then the left one would start charging. But I knew from the beginning, this is kind of weird. This is kind of annoying. So initially I was like, you know what? I'll just start cleaning them because I've had similar issues with my regular AirPods. Yes, these things are still around, thankfully, because they're a lot more reliable when it comes to charging. So when the AirPods Pro weren't working, I would go back to AirPods 2, which honestly fit in my ear better. And in a few ways, I actually think they sound a little bit better, but that's all personal preference. Using just like a basic Q-tip, I would just make sure to clean the case and where the pins align with the AirPods, and in the short term that would help a little bit. It would be like, okay, before I couldn't see the AirPod, now I can see the AirPod, but it would only last like a week or so before it would stop charging again. And I would try to clean it, and eventually, even with cleaning the AirPods Pro case, it would not let the left AirPod charge, and sometimes not even the right one charge. So I felt like something's wrong here, something's up with my case, and thankfully, the reason I'm making this video now is because we have not yet hit 1 year of the AirPods Pro being out, which means technically any of you out there, if you're having issues or quality control problems with your AirPods Pro, let Apple support know about it, because if it's a defect like that and it's not something you caused, it's not that you threw it or dropped it in water or anything like that, then Apple will replace the AirPods at no additional charge. They will put a hold on your credit card as they send out a replacement part, but once you send back the defective unit, they will refund you and it costs you nothing. So that brings me to the next part of the story. Because the left AirPod Pro for the last few weeks, even after cleaning the case, just simply would not charge, I let Apple support know about it just through iMessage. It was very simple. And while AirPods Pro have been very, very bumpy, this video is, going to be praising a little bit the Apple customer support team, because I think they did a great job just not having to even call anybody, which I love. I love just being able to text customer support through the iMessage app, just telling them, hey, my left AirPod won't charge. they'll walk you through a bunch of stuff like, have you tried turning it on and off again? And what version of iOS are you running? It doesn't really matter. You can give them any information and they'll probably just end up saying, all right, let's send you a new one as long as you're running the latest version of iOS, and they'll probably ask you to try it with separate devices. Just lie. Just tell them, yep, I tried it with everything. I'm on the latest version of everything. I'm not using a beta and everything. And they did agree to send me a new left AirPod Pro. And there was, again, a little bit of a hold on my Apple Card, but they ship it out within like 2 or 3 days. It's very, very fast shipping. And then you put your old AirPod, the one that's not working, into the box, you mail it back, and as soon as they receive it, which should typically only take 2 to 3 days, they remove that charge from your Apple Card. It ends up being free. So I got my replacement left AirPod. I put it in the case. I plugged them in. I held the pair button, everything. I was like, cool, I got my new AirPod. Still wouldn't charge. So from the beginning, that means the AirPods Pro case itself was defective, or something got dislodged in there and wasn't allowing it to charge, which probably explains why occasionally the right AirPod Pro wouldn't even charge. So once I paired them and everything, I texted Apple support and I said, hey, guess what? The replacement AirPod, it still didn't fix the problem. So obviously this is very frustrating, and I don't think any product should require the user to do this, but I let Apple support know about it. They said, okay, must be the case, and basically those same steps again. They sent me a brand new case, and I send back the old one, and they remove that charge from my card, and that means I basically got 67% brand new AirPods now. The right one is the only one that hasn't been replaced, and at this point, I feel like I should just say the right one is defective so that I can get a brand new pair, and brand new lithium battery cycles in these things, which means less degradation in the long run. And I want to bring this up now because a lot of people received their AirPods Pro in October, just when they first came out, which means that you still have a little bit of time to let Apple know about it in that first year of warranty. I don't have Apple Care, by the way. I've never bought Apple Care in my life. I'm that careful with my technology, and I don't abuse it. This is just the built-in warranty with everyone who's bought AirPods Pro. If you have issues, Apple will replace it at no additional charge. And now they're working great, I'm happy to say. So I can charge them easily. I don't have to hold the case in a certain way. The case is obviously brand new, which is kind of nice, so I don't have any of the old scratches the old one used to have. I will say, though, that while wireless charging AirPods is nice, Qi charging on AirPods is really dang slow. You kind of have to do it overnight. There's been a lot of situations where I'm like, you know what, let me just leave this on my Qi charger, and I do, and sometimes it'll be like 3 hours I'll take them off, and they've only gone up just a few percent. Maybe it's not aligning properly with the Qi coil or something like that, but yeah, AirPower doesn't exist, so we can't have what we used to want. But anyway, sound quality wise, they still sound great. I love listening to music on them, and honestly, they seem a little bit weaker on the bass, which I think is more balanced overall for audiophiles, but I just grew up with the traditional AirPods, and for some reason, I love the thumping bass that those things offer, which may seem bad to the audio community, but I don't know, I just kind of grew up and got used to that. So these honestly sound a little bit worse to me, and most of the time these do stay in my ear. The only recurring issue I've had with them is it seems that they want to fall out whenever I get sweaty, which sadly is fairly often, and thankfully it's not like constantly. I just have to readjust them every 5 to 10 minutes to make sure they don't fall out. But if you watched the video version of the Tailosive Tech podcast, you've probably seen AirPods Pro fall out of my ear a few times. It's typically because for audio reasons, I'm not running any fans or air conditioning in here, so it gets very hot. But when it's dry and I'm not sweaty, AirPods stay in my ear fine, and ANC works great in tons of situations, which is why I'm definitely keeping these around. If I had to only pick one pair of AirPods that I could have for everything, it would definitely be these over the old AirPods. But old AirPods still aren't bad. I hope Apple keeps those around, and I think it's good to have a universal fit and then a customizable fit for some people who want it, because obviously I knew a lot of people that could not wear the original AirPods because they would fall out that now say these AirPods stay in their ear and they work great. So having the option for both is good. Apple, don't remove either of them, but also try to figure out quality control on these things, because hearing so many people have ANC issues and charging issues and hissing issues, this is sloppy and not the type of Apple we're used to. So that's my essentially 1 year update with AirPods Pro. Hope you guys got some information out of that. Thank you all for watching. If you have issues with AirPods Pro, feel free to let me know what types you've had as well. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.